What's up with it? Hey guys, it's Meg and Jeanette. You can call me Meg.
You sound tired. What's up with?
I am tired.
Give me that high pitch. Come on. Come on. Don't do it.
No, I already did it.
Fine. What's up with it? Hey guys, this is Meg.
And this is Greg Keith. What's happening?
No. It's what's happening.
I can't say that.
I know, I'm sorry.
And welcome back to another episode
So
of Get It Together. We are your one-stop shop for Black love entertainment, relationship development, transparency, and hella high energy.
Yeah.
So, how you feeling?
I feel good, you know.
Check in.
Feel kind of, should we talk about our weekend or what should we do?
I mean, how are you feeling? Let's do
I
a
feel
self-care
good.
check-in.
I feel good. I got a lot of compliments this weekend. I don't know if any of you that follow me saw my Instagram posts. I know my wife gives me a compliment, but I also tell her to also be realistic with me as well. So I have been on my weight loss journey and we're getting a trainer as we talked about last episode. And sometimes even when you're in the process of doing something, have you ever felt like, oh, well, I'm still not confident because you kind of have a setback in a way in your head.
Every day.
In your head.
I'm currently in my setback, so.
Well, in your head, no, not okay. I'm talking about like when you're in the middle of like hitting the ground hard, whether it's writing something, losing weight, cooking food, and you get to that moment where you're like, this doesn't look good. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah. So last week I was kind of in that moment. I was like, I don't know. I just don't look good. And she's like, you're fine. You're so small. You're so skinny. And I was like, no. I went home this weekend. I went to Houston with Megan. It was my sister's wedding. We'll talk about that in a few. And every single person I saw was like, oh my God, you're so small. What have you been doing? I was like, oh, I've been eating healthy, working out every day. I couldn't stop blushing. I was like, oh my God. Plus, newsflash, it was my first time wearing a suit in a long time. Like an actual suit, tie, and jacket. Mm-hmm. That thing was...
You got married.
Since I got married.
Yeah.
But that was the one that we got, that I wore at the wedding was tailored to my fit. Mm-hmm. So even if I was big, it made me look a little slim. Mm-hmm. This suit just went... I was like, oh, this feels good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel good.
Good.
Feel a little more confident. What about you? What's going on?
I feel great. Well, I don't want to say great.
You feel great. You're alive.
Don't speak. Yes, I'm alive, but I can answer how I feel. I feel relaxed. I feel that
She's gonna do this podcast by herself. That's what she's gonna do.
I feel that we just did a marathon within like
Jesus
24
Christ,
hours.
Yes.
And I'm happy that we got home early enough today to just like relax.
We slept.
But yeah, I mean, I'm ready for the week. I'm ready for April to start, and yeah, I feel okay. I'm
For all
good.
my nappers out there, I finally got Megan to conform. She finally took the longest nap of her life.
Yeah.
She's so used to taking 20-minute power naps, 30-minute power naps.
No,
an
a
hour.
power nap is 20 minutes, or
20-minute naps.
you either nap for 20 minutes or you nap for an hour and 30
So
minutes.
anyways, as I was saying,
you don't want to go into REM sleep.
So you cut me off.
Science.
You cut me off. Anyways.
No, I'm going to go so you can give the facts.
So we went to sleep. It was like what 11:30, 12? It was like 11:30.
Last night?
No, today, this morning.
Oh yeah, 11:30.
We took a nap around 11:30 and then wake up till like 5.
Yeah.
Well, because we just got in. So we just got off the plane. We had just got in around 9.
Yeah, we got in from Houston at 9 a.m., got here around 10.
Yeah.
Ordered food from Atlanta Breakfast Club,
was
brought it
really
home, ate it, went to sleep. Woke up 5 p.m. And now here we are.
Megan was like, I'm still tired. I was like, I feel good. I feel
Yes.
good.
But yeah, so that's our update for how we're feeling. So let's get into what we're thinking on the internet this week. Are we loving it, hating it? Greg?
What's happening?
Yeah, what is happening? Because I've not been keeping up.
So, the Oscars is today. The Oscars is going on right now as we speak. Well, the Oscars was yesterday or a couple days ago, whatever. The Oscars
Tuesday, so
The Oscars happen now. The Oscars happen.
You would think that after 3 years he would know how to do the show.
Leave me alone.
It's okay.
So, anyways, I just wanted to take the time to talk about the representation of black people or black excellence at the Oscars. This year, I'm gonna be honest, it really wasn't too much representation. Not a whole lot as I think last 2 or 3 years. So I always check and see who's in it. So for Best Picture, the representation is of course King Richard, Will Smith, talking about the story of Venus and Serena Williams. Then there's Best Actor, which is Denzel Washington, Will Smith. Then there's Best Original Screenplay, King Richard, cool. See, Best Supporting Actress, Ariana DeBose in West Side Story. Best Documentary Feature is Summer of Soul. That was one documentary that I want to watch that I still haven't seen yet. Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Coming to America. I believe they should win that one. It was ridiculous. Coming to America too.
Yeah, you know I don't remember.
Yeah, you know I remember. Yeah,
remember what the makeup.
Best Cinematography, which is the Tragedy of Macbeth with Denzel Washington in it. I want to watch it, but Apple TV is way too expensive. Best Film Editing, King Richard. So King Richard took over pretty much.
Okay, let me stop you. King Richard should definitely win a lot, I'm sure, by the time this comes out. But that was actually a very amazing movie. Will Smith played him very well, and just the way they put their story out there, I really enjoyed it. Like everything around the movie.
And I'm glad they didn't just look at the upside of everything that happened in there in Venus and Serena, which every documentary is gonna always give you the bad side. But they didn't just make this man look like he's a genius. They actually dug deep into his tragedies and all of his.
Yeah, we got into his psyche and got to understand him, so I enjoy that.
Yeah.
And I like that it showed. Because I guess my thought, you know how Serena is more of the sister that is not more successful, but she's obviously gone further than Venus.
Right.
And I like that it portrayed how Venus really was the person that opened the door for her little sister.
Yeah.
And it wasn't focused on Serena.
Because
it was more focused on Venus, because she's the oldest.
In all honesty, Venus, she's the oldest, of course, so she jumped at it. But it fueled Serena. Serena talks about it a couple times, like her seeing her sister being able to perform kind of like drove her mad because she was like, I want that. And of course, us growing up, that was the 90s, 90s, early 2000s, so we didn't see that part of her.
Yeah.
She was driven like that. But the movie showed, first of all, the two little girls that did play Venus and Serena, phenomenal. They both did excellent. The little girl who played Serena showed that emotion, like, this is gonna be me. It's all mine. So just a few more. I think just one more. Best Production Design, The Tragedy of Macbeth. So, and West Side Story. West Side Story has a couple of things in here too. So basically, Will Smith and Denzel are representing, the black heritage very well today.
Well, is that good though?
No, that's what I'm saying. They're represented because of their name.
Yeah.
But I'm saying this. You hear what I said at the beginning? I said this is the first year in a couple years where black has not been represented hard at the Oscars. Because the past couple years, you gotta realize we've been coming from Get Out, Us, Black Panther. We've been coming from some hard black movies hitting the ground, hitting the pavement. This is the first year where in a couple years that.
Well, maybe there weren't as many movies.
Yeah. You're still getting the drop on pandemic kind of being over. Then
is the pandemic over?
Kind of being like the part of the pandemic where we just stayed in the house.
Yeah.
Then a lot of black creators are actually switching towards shows or trying to get on their grind and actually like push hard for their actual story that they're trying to write. So they're kind of taking time. So we got that.
I mean, I was just saying, I understand. I just think that having Denzel Washington and Will Smith be the pillars of what Black Oscars is, like they've always have been. I'm just saying, I'm ready.
You ready for something that, like Daniel Kaluuya was one of the people last year for Judas and the Black Messiah. He won. What was he won? Best Actor. I think he won Best Actor. I can't remember which exact reward he won, but yeah. So cool. So next, you want to hear a joke?
Of course. What?
I don't know the joke. Anyway.
What?
So There was it was SB24news.com, and it said Tyler Perry claims he speaks in his Medea voice during intimacy. And whoever this person is, I gotta give him the credit. It's a girl. It's the Great Negro at Jigga J2. She wrote it down phenomenally with this tweet. On top of the tweet, it says, "Come for me, hello." I was dying. That was what?
My question is, who is he having sex with where they want him to speak in Medea's voice?
Who is he having sex with?
It's just like, wait, let's just stop there.
Let's stop right there before you even finish.
I've never seen whoever Tyler Perry is dating. Or I don't even know if Tyler Perry, if he enjoys women, men, both. I don't know. I really don't know. But I need to know. I just need to know, like, who is he? Are people asking for this? Is this it might be a kink, and we don't kink shame. Kinks are great, but that's just not something that I would want to hear.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Do not turn into Medea.
Oh my god.
While you're laying on top of me. Oh god.
Oh my god. So we also want to take a time, because I know some of y'all that enjoy March Madness, your brackets are destroyed. The men's Final Four is set. Villanova is going to be taking on #1 Kansas. And North Carolina is going to be taking on Duke, which Coach K, this is his last year, he's retiring. Everybody thinks it's written like that, blah, 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 that he makes the championship and win. I mean...
Well, he's a great coach.
I'm about to say, he's won a few.
Yeah, it's not like it's unheard of.
That's why I'm like, when Tom Brady won, everybody was like, it's rigged, it's rigged. I'm like, I don't like Tom Brady either, but he's kind of great. So
yeah.
I can't get mad at him making it there. Like, I can't say it was fake that he made it there. I can just be mad that he made it there.
Yeah.
But also we want to shed light, because we also support women's sports and the equal rights of women, getting better coverage and better pay. So Creighton, number 10 Creighton, number 1 South Carolina, Texas Stanford, I always get that one wrong. UConn, NC State, and Michigan and Louisville all in the Elite 8 right now.
Okay.
So they're not at the Final Four yet, but we also want to give them a little love, little props, because like I said, ESPN is starting to be a little bit better.
Yeah.
They're showing women's sports a little bit more love. So we want to make sure that we give their props. So congrats to all those that made it this far. Also congrats to St. Peter's. They were the first number 15 seed to make it to the Elite 8.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, and their coach actually played against Kobe Bryant. He used to play against or with Kobe Bryant. It was like in high school. Mm-hmm. So he's a lot of pictures of him going on the internet, like him standing beside Kobe Bryant laughing and joking. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Mm-hmm. So yeah, congrats to those guys. They lost, but hell of a season. No, they lost.
I know. I'm not laughing at the fact that you said congrats. They lost.
Well, that's still amazing though. You're number 15, and you make it all, like, literally almost there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But then also makes you think, like, how much, as far as when they rank people, is the ranking similar to football? How they do the college ranking?
So football, the reason why football will be different is because there's more games with basketball. So
it's mostly based off the record.
It's more based off the record.
Okay, never mind.
Because football, you can be 7-7. You could be 7-6 or 7-5 and make it to a bowl game. Okay.
Well, my point was going to be that I thought that it has a lot to do with your school, or like what power 5 school you're in.
Now basketball is 10 times different. Football needs to stop that stupid.
Yeah, that's really dumb, because there's people that are in schools that are not like huge power 5 schools, but they're still great athletes.
Literally, Alabama is number 1 every single year.
Yeah, just because it's Alabama.
Just because it's Alabama. And here we are with Jackson State having like 10, 12 players that are entering the draft, and they're not getting the recognition that they deserve because it's an HBCU. I'm just being honest. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Drop that gem right there. But yeah. Well, no, I mean, that's cool. Definitely. So, Well, so let's get into. We're gonna talk about this week.
Oh my god.
So,
I don't like how she do
how
that.
do you feel about shacking up? Or actually, define shacking up.
It's something I can't define because I believe in the Lord. And no, I'm just joking. No, I mean it's just when two people that aren't married live together. That's easy. I mean, there's so much to go with it because you can involve sex, you can involve, who pays bills and stuff goes into shacking. But it's really the definition is two people live together that are dating that aren't married. It's literally the best way to put it.
Okay, got it. So I guess the first time I ever heard the term shacking up was
church.
Whenever, absolutely, it was
I was at church.
That is such a church, like the saints
Jesus.
type of terminology that was created.
2022.
I would always hear, oh, don't shack up before you're married. Oh, don't be shacking up. Don't shack up. And I'm sitting here as a child growing up, I formed this ideology in my head that, oh, okay, you shouldn't shack up because it says in the Bible that you shouldn't live together before you're married. And I truly kept that train of thought. Like, it was ingrained into my skull until I would say I met you. And it came to, okay, well, not you.
Yeah, I changed everything. Okay.
So there was the guy I dated before you.
Okay.
Me and him would have this debate. And that's whenever it came up. Yeah, absolutely. So me and him would have this debate where that's where it came out that he would talk about, oh, okay, well, we could live together here. I guess trying to plan something like that I wasn't going to be part of anyway. And and I started telling him, oh no, like you shouldn't shack up. Like shacking up goes against the Bible. Like I don't want to do that. And I was just so against it. And we get into arguments about it. And to the point that one day I said, you know what? No, I'm going to call my mom and she'll tell you exactly where it's at in the Bible. With just so much pride, like I just knew exactly what I was talking about. So I called my mother and I said, Mom, what do you think about shacking up? Like, isn't that something that is a sin or something you shouldn't do? It doesn't say in the Bible. My mom, she kind of paused and she said, well, I wouldn't say that it's in the Bible.
We'll just say not to do it.
And I sat there appalled, looking as if,
excuse me, what?
What?
What did you just say?
What are you talking about?
What did you say, mother?
Like my whole world shattered down. So then that was my first initiation to, oh, this is something that actually is something that over the years within religion that just came across. Like people started talking about it or made it up. And then now me as a child grown up, I'm thinking that this is written in the word or something of that sort. So that was my first initiation, or I guess realization that, oh, shacking up, that's actually not something that truly is spoken for in the word. What are you laughing at?
Because I keep doing this and keep forgetting that. Like I did this like 6 times. I was like, why does he keep doing that? Mind blown.
Okay. He's doing the mind blowing thing for the YouTube audience.
Anyway.
But yeah, so I mean that was my first thing about it. So when it came to living with you, how did we come across that? Like, how did the conversation even come about?
Because
when we first started living together?
So you were trying to determine if you were going to do your residency in Houston or Dallas.
Yes.
And then for me, it was more of, well, I don't know nothing about Dallas. I don't know. I can't. At the time, I was working at the hospital. I can't like just leave my job or anything like that. Then it was the fact of maybe I can finish my whole fire thing here. Let's. It was still in the back of my head, like I could try one more time to be a fireman somewhere in Houston. Like let me try. Let me get this together. Boom. And so when it came up, you just kept saying, well, what do you think about me going to Dallas to do my residency or staying here? And really, to be honest, at that time, I knew I couldn't make you just stay. Mm-hmm. But it was the point of like you having to look at me to know, like, you're the last person, right? This is it for me. Like you're gonna be my husband one day. So I need to know this because our decision.
Gonna be your husband?
No, you were saying this to, like basically basically projecting that. No, you're projecting that to me, like like this is gonna happen, and then me about to be your husband. Like in my mind too, I was like, I think she's looking for me to literally ultimately give her an answer.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I most definitely was
at first
pressuring you to move out of your parents' house into get an apartment. So whenever because I knew that I was going to get my residency in Houston, it was already planned. So I was pretty much saying that, well, it's going to be much cheaper for me to move in with you and us to share.
The first like couple times you said that, I just kept saying, oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it'll just be cheaper if like I live with somebody. Like, oh yeah, I know. And I'm just sitting there just cutting my food, like not paying attention to what she's trying to drop
at all. And I would say, so I have to come there for my last clinical in March. Then residence starts in August. I need to be sure that there is a place that I can stay.
And look, this is just me drinking my beer. Oh yeah. Not. I was like, because it wasn't me. It's just the fact that I tried to live on my own before. I tried to I was getting ready to move out. Then that's when I went to HEC, and my dad was like, "There's no point in you moving out because you're not about to." He said, "You're not about to literally go work full time and then go to fire school during the day. Mm-hmm. You're gonna be exhausted. It's like, so you might as well just try your best to stay." So still, the fact was, I had not been on my own. Mm-hmm. So I was in my mind, in my head, in my soul, comfortable staying at my parents' house until I figured out what my career path was. So when you were dropping hints, I was just like, I don't know what she's trying to tell me, what she's trying to hint at, because your boy is literally just, I'm here.
Yes, so Larry, that's why you gotta literally write it out for them.
Yeah, you really do have
so, yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much how it happened. So we started living together in March of 2020, right when the pandemic started.
Right, it was
I had just came back from Mexico, and the pandemic literally just started then, and that's when everybody was freaking out about stuff. I moved in with you, and before that, it was a huge thing for me that I would say, okay, well, I kept asking you, like, are you going to ask my dad if you can marry me? I kept saying things like, I need you to be sure that there is a plan. There is a plan behind me moving in with you.
Ladies,
I had to be sure about that.
Let me stop right there. Let me explain something. Yeah, I'm looking at the camera as I say this. If you got a man who just doesn't get it, that they just don't talk about marriage, it may come up once or twice, and you need them to get it, cool, bring it up. Say it to their face. Say, hey, well, I do want a life with you, blah, 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 blah. If you got a man that just keeps saying, I want to marry you, I'm going to marry you, this is going to happen, it's going to happen, blah, 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 put them stuff in place so when I marry you, let them work. They coming with it. It's there. She was dropping hints like, are you going to ask my dad, since you're moving? I was like, Negro. You already know it's going to happen. Why are you telling me? It's like once a week, I was like, I know.
Because I needed to know that I was not just about to move into an apartment with you and you get benefits of having a wife and then not be planning on proposing me within the next 2 to 3 months. Because at that point in time, I was going to be finished with physical therapy school, and a thing that I told him, if you guys have listened to any past episodes, that he could propose to me once I finished my education. So once I finished school and got my doctorate, then he could propose to me. So it was at the point that I was at the end of it. And so I'm looking around like, okay, when is he going to do this? Because if I'm going to move in with him, I don't want to just be sitting there, we're just going to live together and there not be anything behind it. So, okay, that was me being extra.
But then you also got to realize we moved in. That was still literally a whole couple months before you got done with your education. Think about it.
I moved in March. I graduated from school in August.
Oh, literally. No. You graduated in September. You had to go graduate in September.
August.
No. Okay, sorry, I'm right.
It was August.
What was in September? It was something in September that happened. Yeah, I knew that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Exactly.
So,
I was like.
So it was a huge thing. And I was just very fearful of moving in with a man before I was married. I know a lot of that had to do with the thing about, you shouldn't shack up. But also, I'd always hear this thing about if you moved in with someone before you married them or living together before you got married, should you do it, should you not do it? Statistics say that the divorce rate is higher. And so with that, I went and like looked up a few things just to give y'all some facts about facts from studies.
Drop it on us.
Because honestly, at the end of the day, it's really everyone's choice. But let's just get into it. So, there's a study that said that couples who cohabitated before marriage had a 33% higher chance of divorcing than couples who moved in together after the wedding ceremony. Okay. And then another study had talked about women who married between ages 25 and 30 years old without first living together with someone, that they had some of the lowest rates of divorce. But in contrast, 70% of the women in the study who lived with one or more partners before they got married got divorced. Right. So, honestly, after researching this and looking through stuff, the consensus is that they truly don't know whether or not, like, statistics are saying that there is a higher chance of getting divorced for the people who did the studies that lived together before they got married. Mm-hmm. However, there is a contrasting study that says that people who lived together before they got married and that had a plan as far as like being engaged or becoming married, that the first year of marriage was actually shown to be more satisfaction, more favorable. And then after that, like they were ahead of everybody else for the first year of marriage, but then after that, it starts to taper down, saying that then now like things get bad. Which I thought was so weird because my idea, now after we've done it, so we lived together before we got married, and okay. I think that it truly benefited us because I think I learned a lot about you during that time period.
So, I want to say before, like, you know, you give your his data statistics. I think a lot of couples cases this past couple years are different than a lot of those statistics. The reason why is because we had the pandemic, and we didn't have a choice. So I was mad at you and did not like you some days. I literally still had to stay in the house.
I don't understand that. How did you not like me some days?
Because no. Because, okay, first of all, you are a lot. I'm a lot. So don't try to sit up here and think say you could just you dealt with me every single day and your mind was just like, oh, he's fine. I love him still. No, I know you were contemplating like murder.
No, I was not. I was having fun.
No, I was not.
Oh.
Because the thing is, you lived on your own before me.
True.
I had never been on my own before. College, I still lived with somebody. I had a whole roommate. Mm-hmm. I've never been on my own. So in fact, now that I'm on my own, I had to sit down with somebody and have dinner with them. And at first, it was fine. I'm playing house. You know, you cooking every day. You cooking breakfast. Cooking. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Because I wasn't in school.
Yeah,
so
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, it's different because you know you got to cook for yourself to survive. You got to wash your clothes. You got to wash your dishes to survive. You got to make up stuff. You know, clean your house. You know, go out about your day. I don't know that yet. So I really haven't had the chance to do that for myself. So I haven't done it for two people. First couple months was like, oh, this is golden. This is nothing. It's easy. After a while, it was like, why are you talking? I would want to play the game.
So how long did that take? So what is after?
So I want to say,
March
we moved in March.
Pandemic then.
We moved in March, April, May. So March, April, May March and April were because we moved at the beginning of March. So March, April were the two golden months. We have no choice. I'm still going to work. You're at home. I'm pretty sure you had COVID.
I definitely had COVID.
Helping take care of you, making sure you were fine, all those things. Golden. Then there was March, in May, June, July.
So the summer.
Yeah, May, June, July was when I looked at you leave now.
So why?
Because it was just the fact that I forgot I had to share time. I got Bobby by the pound, Whitney by the key, DJ Screw by the gallon, the game belong to me. I got Bobby by the pound, Whitney by the key, DJ Screw by the gallon, The game belongs. I'm sorry, I just came back from Houston. Been
I
to
don't know
Atlanta.
that song.
You ain't never heard this? It's UGK. Pimp C and Bun B. You ain't never heard it?
All I heard to say is a couple of letters. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You probably don't really heard the international players anthem.
What is that?
So I typed a text to a girl I used to see.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like this song.
Yeah, of course you do. Real Houstonian here. Anyways.
I don't play Houston.
I know, I said real Houstonian here. I just came back from Houston, so I just kind of had a little bit of it in me.
Mm-hmm.
But back to it, so May, June, July was the time period where it was like, I gotta sit down and eat dinner with you. You know, I gotta come home and you're there. Like, I'm used to going to bed late because I'm playing like a game or something. Like I'm into my games, like especially when I'm like playing like a story mode or a career mode. Like I like to complete a certain amount of that story before I say, all right, time to take a pause for a couple of days and not play the game.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't stay up till 12 playing games because it was this thing where there was some nights when you did leave me alone. You're like, I'm going to bed, he's playing this game, I don't care. But then it was like a couple nights you would be like, I want you to come to bed. And you would like open the door consistently to come to the living room. Are you coming to bed? You go back. Are you coming to bed? You go back. Are you coming to bed? And I'll be
because it would be like 2 a.m.
And yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not used to somebody telling me to, hey, come here. Like my parents, yes. But like I said, I'm enjoying my new freedom. You know, I'm like having fun. I'm at the house. Mm-hmm. Now I gotta answer to somebody else again.
Yeah.
So it was just the fact of not being able to enjoy my freedom. And
okay.
So it was a time period where I was just like, I can't do this. Like it's just irritating.
Then he started these things where he would go on these drives.
Oh yeah, my drive. I can't really do them anymore like I used to.
Greg does this thing where he likes to waste gas, is what I think of it. But he'll just go in his car and drive around, listening to music, and just driving alone by himself. And I would get frustrated because I like to ride. So
it was that. Then like I remember at one point, like I don't think you ever like thought like maybe he's doing something behind my back, but
no, those thoughts.
Yeah, but it was just like in my mind I kept saying I think she thinks I'm doing something behind her when I go for a drive. She has my location. She could just honestly just pull my. That's what made me. It went in my ear, then it went back. I was like, oh, she has my location. So she could obviously see if I'm at like some woman's house for like 3 hours. Like, he's been at this spot for like 3 hours. Maybe I should go over there. Like, it was just the fact that I gotta come home. I would get off work down the street. I work at the medical center.
I was just about to talk about
you about to say that? Go ahead.
No, you go. You talk.
I worked down the street. Like a walk, 20 minutes, of course. A drive from my apartment to to Herman, 5-6 minutes, literally. So I could eat I would take the train. I would park my car, take the train. It would take me like 10 minutes to get to work. But if I wanted to park in the garage, 5-minute drive.
Okay, so I knew what time that he got off work. And so I can't say looking back on it now, just looking at myself, that I was doing a lot at that time because within the circumstance, the pandemic had started. I didn't know, we really didn't know as far as what was gonna happen with me like taking my board exam, so I was studying for that. I really wasn't finishing my last clinical rotation because we didn't know if we'd go back yet. So I would be at home all day. All I would have to look forward to was like, okay, I'll clean the house. Okay, so whenever he gets home, I'll cook and we'll be able to eat together. And I'm just thinking of things to do because I had nothing else to do. Yeah. Everything was shut down, I had nothing to do. So whenever I knew what time he got off work, so I would sit there thinking, okay, so he should be here within the next 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. Then 15 minutes rolls by and he's not here yet. Okay, he should be here within the next 45 minutes.
I'll put gas in his car.
Yeah, it's probably some traffic. He's not here. Okay, now it's 6 o'clock. And so I'm thinking an hour has rolled by. He, just as he said, does not live that far from where we live. I call him, he just tells me, and I know first what I would do is I would look at your location.
What are you doing?
Because, I do this everywhere. Anyone's location I have in my friends, I will look at where you're at before I call you. So I know if you're at home or if you're somewhere else. I think it's respectful because I don't want to bother you if you're at work or somewhere. And I see that he's in this random place of Houston. And I'm just like, where is he?
Not a part that is like, okay, a friend lives, like one of his homeboys live over there, like his parents live over there. No, I'm like in like Katy.
Yes. So
45 minutes.
I call him and I say, what are you doing? Like, are you coming home? And then I can hear the annoyance in your voice. You have this thing where when you're irritated with me, because I'm very self-aware. I know when I'm annoying somebody. I know when they're mad, because I like to be aware of those things. So you'll be like, I'm just driving. Like, the tone will be as if, why is she calling me right now? And I can tell that you were annoyed. So I think that's whenever I start realizing, okay, so he obviously is getting upset. I don't know, would you use the term that I was clingy?
No, I think because yes, clingy, yes, but it wasn't clingy in an unhealthy way. It was clingy in a way of, this is my man. I want my man to know that he has all of me, all of my undivided attention. Because the thing was, the first couple months, coming home to you cooking, open the door, it's smell of food, the TV's on, you're naked. It was a loving feeling. Great.
Everything's clean.
Everything's clean. Beautiful, wonderful. It was at some points where it was at some it was at some points where like my clothes were laid out and I was like, oh, this is beautiful. After a while it was like after a while I was like, oh, you're still here.
Did you feel suffocated?
A little bit. For me it
so
was.
So I guess like what was the difference between you left living with your parents to going to live with me, and where did the feeling of suffocation come from? Because you still left your situation when you were still living with someone.
Well, because that's what I'm saying. I left home out of, because I lived with two church parents, two ministers. I literally, and I still had to go to church, of course. I was a choir director and everything. I left there knowing that I had to do stuff under their house, under their roof, under their rules. Like no matter what, I'm a grown man. I still have to follow what they wanted me to do no matter what. So I left that going, okay, I can go here and live with my girlfriend and it'll be different. But I had to realize that now there's another human being not only relying on me, but also going, hey, I need your attention too.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was coming to the fact of, in my head, I was being selfish because it was me going, oh, you know what? I'm out of my parents' house, I can do what I want. And I can give my girlfriend attention sometimes. That's how it was. It was the selfishness in me. So it wasn't just you being clingy or being too much. It was me being selfish because I just haven't had that opportunity to quote unquote live, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you also have to play it a part. I never dated anybody outside of staying with my parents. So the fact of I'm in a lockdown relationship when I move into this apartment and I'm moving in with my girlfriend, kind of stuck in my head too, like dang. That all
you didn't get your time to just let women run through it.
Yeah, well, in that case, and I had to grow to realize I wasn't that kind of person anyways, to just run around with women every single day or stuff like that. So even just moving in an apartment, I feel like God was gonna have something waiting on me if I moved into an apartment and I was single. He's gonna be like, oh, you wanna run around? Baby. I felt like I'm that kind of person. God would have been like, I mean, example of you. There's a baby.
Okay. All right. So then let's like fast forward. So then we get engaged.
Okay.
Within like 6 months living together, and so now for me, my brain, I all of a sudden magically feel so secure that okay, well now living with him, it makes sense to me because I'm going to marry him. So why would I not be living with him? It was less of an embarrassment thing. So I think that I was like dealing with the fact that I kind of didn't want anyone to know that I had moved in with you because of the idea of, oh, so Megan's shacking up with her significant other.
Oh, I told everybody.
Yes, and with that being said, why, okay, for you, why is that? I think it's very weird.
I'm sorry, I thought you were done.
No. So, I'm not done, let me finish. I raised my hand to stop.
With that color purple.
Okay, so no, I was gonna say that I think that's so interesting that I had this stronghold of what the church told me about shacking up for that such a long time that it really was that I had to move past that barrier in my brain. Whenever it wasn't something that like my parents instilled in me, it was just from like religion in general. But you grew up in a household where you have minister parents. So why was that not something in your brain? Like, why was it not something that was holding you back? Or something that crossed your mind? Why were you not like embarrassed about it? Why did you not care?
Cause you a heathen. Nah, real. Because this is this is data right here. So for the church world, black church world, black girls are like told, don't do it. They're the ones that are always subjected to being said, don't shack up with no man, don't shack up with no man, don't shack up with no man. Because in a sense of being that church girl and that older black woman or the older black crowd would go like it, because basically all niggas ain't shit. That's how they would put it. Basically, that's how they would put it. Because in their mind, they're like, you shack with a man, your heart will get broken. That's how they put it to the black girls in
or
church.
you'll have a baby.
Yeah, you have a baby. So the black boys that grew up in church, they always believe that the black boy that grows up in church is the best person in the world, which is not true. A couple of us literally turned out okay because we grew up in the church, but there is probably like 78% of the black church, of black boys that grew up in the church their whole life that really ain't nothing, ain't worth a damn. So the whole point of it is they see like us that grew up in the church, we're black men, we're groomed in the church, blah, blah, blah. It would go, okay, be careful if you move your word. That's all they would say.
Be careful.
So I would, but hold on, no, because I'm gonna hit you with some facts. My dad, I would say my dad because him being a man, he of course would say, hey, whatever you do, be careful. He said, because first of all, my dad's like, I'm the minister of a whole church, so anything you do reflects on me. So be careful with everything you do. The whole be careful thing will go to all black boys, but this is just me that I'm talking about. Be careful. He said, if you have the opportunity to live by yourself and a woman lives by herself, let that be. Don't be in a rush to move in together. But if it happens, he says, be careful, pray together, all those things. My mom put me under the same examples with my sisters. Shouldn't check her. Shouldn't do. But the one thing that my parents did grow to realize is the older that their children get, the more that they can't tell them not to do stuff. Like, for starters, when I was with my parents, I was going to the gym late at night. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, I'm at the gym. And I didn't get out of the gym till 12. At first, it was like, my mom was mad. Why are you doing this? I can't go to sleep at night. After a while, the pushback will turn into, if I tell him not to do it so much, he won't. He's gonna keep doing it. Because I'm doing it like, why are you telling me what to do? You can't tell me what to do, Mom. As all black guys do. That's a lie. No, I'm just joking. But now then it turns to that, so my mom just texts me, hey baby, be careful. Left you some food. And after a while, I would go, maybe I'm being an idiot. Maybe I could go to the gym as soon as I get off work and like get in the house by like 9. Instead of raising my mom, my dad's blood pressure having to stay up. So it was just the fact of them knowing like they can't push their kids to like stop them from doing anything, because the older you get, the more angry you get when you tell them to not do stuff. So when they found out I was moving in with you, they just kind of went, be careful, babe.
What does that mean?
What do you mean?
What does be careful mean?
Just be careful with what you're doing. Like anything, be careful in the relationship. Like I told you, my dad said, anytime that a relationship, you're with somebody and you move in together, make sure you always pray together. Make sure you never go to sleep upset with each other. All those things.
Okay.
But I'm saying the basis of the black church, as you, oh snap, I can't.
Oh, you're gonna knock this mic off the stairs.
So
the basis, put your hands down.
The basis of the black church. It scared the hell out of me, I'm sorry. The basis of the black church is to make, because we've talked about this, how the black church glorifies black men, the black men that are in the church, because they put them on this pedestal. And as black women, they make you turn into like you have to do everything that we say and everything that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but I guess my question is, for you, why did it not bother you that we lived together before we got married? Why internally did that? Was that not a thing?
Because my thing was I loved you. I didn't care what nobody thought. I wasn't embarrassed by that, and that's not. I'm saying that you shouldn't have been. It didn't bother me because I loved you.
So did you just know it was gonna work out?
I just knew it was gonna work out. Yes, I will grant it. I did. How do I put it? I did kind of like play with the numbers a little bit when it came to moving in. Thought it was gonna be all roses and strawberries, but it wasn't. I had to learn how to grow with that, and it over time it actually got better for me. But I knew that this was gonna work out. Mm-hmm. You're the one for me from the facts.
Yeah.
Not gonna say that because I'll be lying if I say every day was perfect. Like, ooh, our relationship is just the best in the world. It's perfect. No. The reason why we have this podcast and we're telling people this stuff and giving people advice is because everything isn't perfect. Yeah. It wasn't perfect. We had to learn. I had to learn a lot of things. But even in that process of having to learn things, knowing that like the ship would sink sometimes, you would argue sometimes, it'd be 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and we're like knee deep in an argument or a tussle. At the same time, in the back of my head, I knew this is the woman for me.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta make this work. Mm-hmm. Like, no matter what.
So it's like your belief that you knew this was gonna work out. Mm-hmm. That's why it truly didn't come across your mind as in what people say about like, oh, if we live together, we're not gonna end up getting married, we'll get divorced.
Right.
Okay. So, well, I agree with that. I mean, the only reason I moved into it because I knew it was gonna work out. Like, I know that you were the person I was gonna happen. So it really like didn't matter. No matter what we went through, I knew that we'd be able to work through it, even though it'd be really hard at some points in time. Yeah. So, I guess now that we've gone through that, so lived together for like a year and a half, how do you feel like it's affected us now that we've gotten married?
There's a system. And we both know, like now, I don't take those drives after work. Well, I can't take drives after work now.
Gas is too expensive for driving.
Well, yeah. Well, I was just talking about the fact that I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. You're not even here when I get home. So it's like, why go drive, stupid? She's not at the house when you get off. So, but even just like living with each other, the whole year that I was in the fire academy.
Yeah.
I would definitely, I'd come home now because now it's like, the reassurance of knowing that you know that I'm safe and at home, and the reassurance that you know that I'm safe in your arms, like I'm there to be with you. Like it made me feel like a lot better knowing that my woman, her heart isn't pumping fast because I'm not at the house. She's worried where I'm at. You know, these things are going on. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, do you feel like it's benefited us, the fact that we spent a year and a half before we got married to live and learn about one another?
Oh, of course.
Okay, so how has it benefited us now that we're like living together and married?
Because, well, now we're at a grown aspect of where, yes, right now, people that are married, which I've heard this and it's kind of irritated me, you still playing house. You're still in Wonderland. Because we just got married.
Oh, yeah.
We're still in.
I need to read some people right now.
No, I've heard that like somebody's told me that like you're still in Wonderland.
Because we're newlyweds.
Because we're newlyweds.
That is,
like,
I'm sorry.
We're still grown ass people. We're still adults though. Like it doesn't matter. You could have still. This wasn't gonna happen. You could still be my girlfriend right now. At this point, if you're still.
I am still your girlfriend.
Well, you know, I mean, without not being married, whatever, girl. We could still just be in a relationship like girlfriend and boyfriend, and we've been together for so long though that we're still adults, so we know how to process these things.
Yes.
So we've lived together for a year and a half now, like you said, a while now.
Like 2 years.
2 years, whatever. We still know how to process things now. So even when we weren't married, we were still learning on the aspect of as we were married because we were living together. Then you got that gap of us being married from that point to now. So yes, we've learned how to do things. We're not playing a house. We're not being adults. We're not all grown up now. We've been grown.
Yeah.
Relax.
I guess, okay, sidebar.
I pray they see this video.
Is that,
Relax.
Yeah, the whole thing about the newlywed phase of like, oh, you guys are just acting like y'all just newlywed phase. That's why you guys like each other so much. I really don't like that. I think that's a very toxic thing to say.
It really is.
As married people, because it gives a sign that you're unhappy in your situation. And for you and I, because Greg and I talk about this all the time, because I tell him how like that just truly just pisses me off. Because I ask him that the way that he and I are, and how we are with each other, that we're truly like friends, and we enjoy being around each other. Yeah, it's like literally like this is my bro. Like I like hanging out with him. He's fun. We just happen to kiss sometimes and have sex, and it's great, and it makes it so much better.
Yes.
And we love each other, and it's not because we're just newly into each other. We just newly got married, and there's all these like rainbows going on. It's the fact that this is just who we are. This is our relationship, and we've worked hard to build this because we developed a foundation before, and that we know that we know that we're made for each other. So we don't see each other within the next 10 years sitting distant, or like me not going to sit on his lap or cuddling him, or just how I am now, because first off, that's my nature, that's who I am, and that's our relationship. And so I cannot foresee that will change. So it bothers me when people say stuff as in, oh, y'all just act like that because you're newly married, or y'all are just like newly. I'm like, we've been dating for 4 years now.
So
and it's still the same thing.
So
we're going on year like 5. And so it's kind of, but it just comes off as such a toxic thing to say about people being married. Just like, what? It shouldn't be like that.
But both our parents, like your parents and my parents, they're still playful with each other.
Yes, literally.
My uncle and my
friends.
aunt. I always say like I love how like I see my uncle, my dad's brother, and my aunt. I'm like, they're always playing like how we are. They're kind of like us. Like they play around all day.
Yeah.
Like literally, they like my uncle. He told me one day, like before I left Houston, he was like, man, make sure he's talking to him. He's like, make sure you always make your wife know that you're her friend. He said, me and your aunt, we still slapbox. I was like, oh.
Well, I'm not doing that.
No. He's like, we just square with each other, just play around, like agree together on Facebook. I'm like, why can't people just accept that people are happy even in their older days?
Because the people that are not happy in their older days and things become toxic, they're trying to push that negativity onto us who are happy, and it's gonna stay happy and genuine, and try to make it seem like that's out of the ordinary. And like you said, that's what we have this, because this is not out of the ordinary.
No.
This is how it's gonna be.
That's how it is.
No matter what, because this is our relationship, and that's what it can be. And I think that, and I just want everyone to know and understand that. And I think that we've been blessed to have the opportunity to have examples of marriages that are healthy from our parents, and to grow up with that. I understand everyone does not have that, but all I'm saying is I'm done with reading. Just stop. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Please
don't
stop.
tell us because you're in newlywed phase. No, we're not.
We're not.
No, we're
Because you know
not.
how they tell like couples, like people who are just dating, like boyfriend and girlfriend, or girlfriend, boyfriend, like, oh, you're just in the honeymoon phase. Stop telling people that shit. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep like cursing, but stop telling people that. I hate when like new relationships are together and it's like they're in 4 months and they're lovey-dovey and they say, oh, that's just because you're in the honeymoon phase. Why? Just let them be happy. If they find a brick in the road, let them find a brick in the road themselves. Don't tell them that there's going to be a brick in the road so they anticipate that brick coming. No, let people be happy. Because literally people have said that about us, our relationship. Hell, it's just the honeymoon phase when we first started dating. And literally we act like we just found each other.
We're still in our honeymoon phase.
We still act like we found each other. We act like we just started dating.
Yes,
like, relax with that. That's very, very.
We still play games, like dating games, and get to know you all the time. We're obsessed with those, by the way. We buy get to know you dating games all the time and ask each other questions.
No,
because it's an ongoing thing. I don't care if I've been with him going on about 5 years now. Like I still want to learn about him.
When I go to work, there are a lot of guys that are my age at my job. A couple of them are rookies, a couple of them are actual firemen who have been in the service for a couple years now. Whenever when they talk about women or talk about dating, I still be in the conversation. I still talk, but then I'll say my wife. I bring up my wife. I say, oh, my wife. Because if it has to relate to the conversation with my wife, oh, hush, you ain't like that all the time. Like, yeah, I am. I'm talking about my wife here. I talk about my wife at the grocery store. I talk about my wife when I'm talking to my dad. I talk about my wife when I'm talking to my nephews. Whatever. I'm talking about my wife because this is how I am. Even when I'm not around my wife, I still love my best friend. I want to talk about my best friend. I want to see my best friend. So if in your terms, if I'm in front of your face and it feels like I'm in the honeymoon phase, nah, nigga, I just love my wife.
Yeah, I just like him. Sometimes I like you, sometimes I don't like you.
And I still like you, yeah.
It's literally just, it's fine. We fight, we argue, we have issues, we get past it, go back to be the same thing. That's what it's been all the time. And I'm like, why does it feel? I don't understand like why that is foreign.
The quote unquote honeymoon or whatever phase is equipped with the fact of, in your terms, equipped with the fact that, oh, you haven't had a real problem yet. So why can't somebody have a real problem and still be lovey-dovey?
And we have had real problems. We absolutely.
I don't like talking about the budget. I don't like talking about money.
Yeah.
And I really don't.
Bothers me.
And she wants to. I get mad. We'll have a discussion and it'll get a little heated. And 3 hours later, she throws something at me, and we start laughing. And we
I've
just
never thrown anything at
like,
man.
yes, we get you a pillow. You have
Oh,
a couple pillows at me randomly. Right? Yes, you have randomly.
Not because I've been angry.
No, not angry.
Okay.
I'm saying like we
Don't
would
make me feel like I'm violent.
Save me.
Shut up. No,
I'm saying like you would we were joking around, like we were getting to it and then like we'll make up with each other. Oh, I'm sorry, baby, no, I love you too. Then I have to turn my back around, you throw a pillow at me. Just playing around.
Mm-hmm.
Because we love each other. Like no matter what, you're going to have bricks and rocks in the road. Oh well. Get back to regular schedule, love on me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Learn how to apologize, communicate through it, work through it, and keep going. It's gonna be fine. So
It's gonna suck sometimes.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, I think for me, as far as like benefits, back going to talking about us and living together. So I think benefits that we've had through that is that I think that we didn't have to deal with the foreignness of living with someone after you get married and you've never lived with them before. So whenever we got married, we ended up coming back to our house and everything was already there, stuff the same. Like I know how you live. Like we have like the same amount. We have the same level of dirtiness, which honestly helps a lot.
Jesus.
So it's like a blessing and a curse. But I think that the fact that our level of living together and our level of dirtiness and how clean we are and like what we like to do as far as routine, it matches up. So there really aren't any cons for that. But I can see how if you were to never ever live with somebody and then you get married, which is the norm, and then you move in with them and you walk in and you're looking like, oh, this Negro is nasty.
Yeah, no.
Like and then now it's like now you're learning how to be married and how to be a wife, how to be a spouse, all the different things, on top of learning how to live with another person and figuring out how they live. So I can understand there can be like glory in that, like, oh, this is like amazing. It's like I get to figure out how to live. But I can also see how that can be an extra level of burden on being with someone because now you're having to figure out a lot of things at one time.
Right.
So let's take a quick little break and then we'll finish the show after that.
All right. We're back.
Yes, we are. Okay, so couple things. So what are some cons or things that you think of living together before marriage or shacking up that can come about?
Cons?
Or anything.
Pros and cons, or do you just want the cons first?
I mean pros and cons.
Oh, okay. Because you just said cons. I was like.
I mean, because we already talked about the benefits, so that's like the same thing.
Well, okay. So the cons.
So pros and cons.
So the cons, I'll go first. The cons are going to be having to know the other person's schedule, because obviously you don't know what the schedule is. You don't know how it is. Like me and your schedule was way different from when you moved in until when you started working. Because at first it was, oh, you're here every day. Mm-hmm. Then it was, oh, you're here. I'm here like maybe 30 minutes before you get here. Then it went from, oh, I got the house for like 2 hours until you get off. So learning that schedule, it was like I had to get used to every schedule that we both had with each other.
So that's a con?
It is, because then you get used to something. Like, I guess.
Oh, a con of living together is because you got used to someone's schedule.
Yeah, and then that's the thing of like their jobs changed. Like my job changed. So instead of you making it home instead of me making it home before you, now you're making it home before me. And then it went back to I'm making it home before you.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of one thing. Then just knowing sometimes you're experimenting so much with each other when it comes to cooking, new things, and it can get irritating. Like sometimes I had just learned how to cook some stuff. And I don't know if she really just liked my cooking, like if it was really good or she was being nice, but sometimes I would cook and I wouldn't even like what I cooked. And I was looking back and like, oh, try this. Oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Other cons is just getting used to the other person. Like no matter what, I don't care what you say, you can judge us on camera, but you probably living in filth right now. Everybody has their own kind of filth. Whether it's just a little bit or a lot though. So you gotta get used to the person's filth. Like no matter what. Like my filth, I wouldn't wash the dishes extremely at the moment. I would wait to wash the dishes. Like you know how people would cook, they would wash. I would just let the dishes sit there like a day or so, and I would wash. She had to get used to that, and I had to get used to her telling me to. She got used to me doing it. Then she had to look at me and go, no, you need to wash the dishes as soon as you're done. So I had to get used to washing the dishes as soon as I was done with everything. Like yeah, so you just got to get used to somebody's filth. And because everybody, that's why I just want everybody to know, everybody has filth. Because I was afraid to say it, but I was like, wait, everybody has their own filth.
Absolutely.
Some people fart. Some people like have like the cleanest house ever. They fart when they walk around the house. And you have your own filth that you got to get used to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so with that, I think that a pro of learning someone's filth before you get married, because I mean, if you two live so opposite that this person is OCD about cleaning and this person does not care about things at all, just leave stuff all over the place, and then that's what the whole, I guess, back and forth is about, like why things aren't working out. In my brain, I see that as a benefit that you figured that out before you were.
Oh yeah, no, it is a benefit, but it's also like con.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like that is a benefit, because I think that's the thing people always say, like, you know, it's whenever you're living together before you like get married with someone, then if you're not binded by like this contract to work things out with this person, then you're just gonna like leave. Mm-hmm. So if you feel like you move in with somebody after you got married, you never lived with them before, and you realize that y'all two have two totally different lifestyles of living, and then now you feel like you're like stuck. I don't know if I think that's a good thing. People, like I said, this is not facts or anything. This is just our opinion.
Now, I will say, luckily we both had the same amount of cleanliness. We really did.
Yeah. That's what I was saying earlier. We really do. So it wasn't an issue, but I can see how like that can be something that just it creates turmoil. So
I mean, then I lost the other one. It was in my head. I had it right there. Luckily one pro I will say that we don't like guests. We hate guests. We hate people who also kind of, hey bro, I want to hang out with you, let me come over. No. Because then Meg will be like, I mean, do you want them over? And I'm like, not really.
Yeah.
And then her person go, oh yeah, I can come hang out with you. And Meg will be like, do you want my friend to come over? I'm like, no, not really. Alright, cool. Because I didn't want them to come over. We do not like having guests.
Yeah.
We hate it. And I know the people that have come over our apartment are probably like, hey, why did I come over there? You caught us at the right time, the right place. You were right in the neighborhood. You were right around the corner. You may have had food with you. I don't know what it was, but you luckily got in here. We do not counting our family that actually have to stay with us, or friends that were from out of town to stay with us. We're talking about people that lived in the same city say, hey, I'm coming over just to hang out. Just to have
I think it's just because like we don't know when they're going to leave.
Yes.
I don't like the idea. I don't mind doing an event. Like, oh, we're going to have an event from this time to that time. And let's say, like now, I wouldn't mind do that now. Like, okay, to an extent. Because I still don't really like people being all over my house like that. But we're going to have a game night from like 8 to 10. Okay, there's a deadline. Like,
right.
This time you need to leave. The whole someone come like ask us to come home so they can hang out. That's too much for me because I don't know how long I entertain you. So
best guest we had, and we're counting people that just came over to hang out and people that were actually on this show, was Tia with a Crown plant-based ice cream because she got in and her fiance now, congratulations.
Yay,
so when her fiance were there, they did the podcast probably like 5 minutes as soon as the podcast was over. They were like, all right, we gotta go.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we got a host.
I was like,
oh, Jesus.
I didn't want to sit there and have to talk. Just talk for like an hour and a half. We interviewed you.
Everybody we had over is just sits there. Me and Megan got like, we do like telepathic reading, like, all right. Your friend has to go.
You're the worst people. But yeah, so I can see that could be a big deal. If you really love to entertain and then you're with someone who hates to entertain, so you always have people at the house and they don't like people at the house, that can become a problem. So honestly, at the end of the day, just like wrap this up, I think what's most important is that you just gotta communicate with how you live.
Right.
So if you're not like if you have no intentions of wanting to ever live with somebody before you get married, which is like totally fine, then I would just suggest that you have a full-on conversation about, okay, well, what is your living lifestyle? Like, how much do you like to clean? Like, how often do you do this? Like, go to their house, snoop around, get an idea of it. Like, I just think that you should, because I just feel like after getting married, the least of your worries should be the fact of trying to figure out how to cohabitate with somebody. And like I said, this is just our opinion. I think it worked out really well because we didn't have to figure all that stuff out. Honestly, when we got married and we moved, we just set up new rules for our living because we said, okay, that's how we lived before when we were in school. And now that we're like adults and we have like a newer place, like let's do this now to make things easier upon both of us.
And I mean, honestly, before we even moved in with each other, period, it was just me going, you know what? When she was living in Galveston, she was a very clean person. So I automatically knew you're a very clean person. Yeah. I automatically knew. Now, what I did tell myself, I betted on myself and I failed miserably. I didn't start catching it until probably when I was in the fire academy, that her having a sleeping schedule will probably rub off on me. Wrong. No. Wrong. Because my sleeping schedule was trash.
Yeah.
I ain't listen till 1, 2 o'clock. Well, yours is off by
I stay up so late now because
yours, but that's what I'm saying. You would be in bed by 8, 9. Mm-hmm. Because even if you're in bed, you still like to do stuff like 8, 9, but you're in bed ready. Now you're in bed by 11. My schedule was like, I'm not going to bed till 2 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, yours is off.
Well, so we just met in the middle.
Yeah, yours is off, but mine was significantly off. Like, it was horrible.
Yeah.
And probably why I'm still short. Because I used to go to bed 3 in the morning.
Bro.
And not playing the game. This is just me up. Oh, this movie's on. Oh, this movie's on.
That's
marathon.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess, what if there's somebody who's listening and they're just looking for advice as far as, okay, well, for dudes, so you advise dudes, I advise women. For a guy that is thinking about living together with his girl, they're not married yet, but what would you give as far as advice?
I would tell them, just know that even if you're just boyfriend, girlfriend, just dating, just live together, don't know what the relationship is defined as yet, or married at the beginning of the stage, you're the man of the house, no matter what. No matter what liberation of what type of lifestyle we live with now, of equal here and there, you're still the man. Whether even if you're same sex, if you're the dominant person, you're still the head of that house in a protective way. And with that being said, I'm not even talking about the protective aspect of knowing that you gotta be the buff guy around your person, or be that person where you're the bodyguard. I mean that person of you're guarding their heart. So if you like to have fun, or you like to go out, you like to stay out after work and stuff, you have to take into account that you have somebody at the house waiting for you. Because one thing I will say, I did do that to Megan, because I just be out driving around, I had attitude and whatnot. And when I was in that little stage of that part of the year where it was like a couple months of me going, wow, she's at the house. I know now that I can't have my wife waiting on me no more to get home. Even if I don't want to be there, I had to learn it the hard way. Even if I didn't want to be there, I can't have my girlfriend waiting on me at home. So just know that, you have somebody that not only are you looking out physically, you're looking for their mental space, and you're looking out for their heart as well. So don't have the person. One thing I will say, she didn't do that to me. If she said she was going somewhere, or she just didn't want to come home yet because she was out doing something, she would tell me. Communication, guys. Please talk to your partner. If you know you're not going to be at home, don't expect them to just know. They'll know if I call. Because sometimes I have to realize it does happen. When my phone died, you didn't know where I was one time. And I was out. I was like far away from the house. And I was out, my phone died. I didn't have a charger or nothing. So you didn't know what I was doing until I literally got to a charger. What are you doing? Where are you? Baby, my phone died. I'm sorry. Luckily, I was at work. I was literally doing overtime at work. My phone had died. I had no way to charge it. So, yeah, I would say communication and just knowing that you gotta let you really do. I mean, she had a hard time checking in with me. That you did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, she did have a hard time like telling me like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. It's okay. It's not checking in. You're just letting that person know so they won't be worried.
It's more of a respect and courtesy.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to have somebody worrying about you anymore.
'Cause-
And so honestly, it's all a learning curve. Like, it was a learning curve for me to be okay with telling someone, like, this is where I'm at. And not in a way that he's trying to be overbearing, because I'm like, or taking away my independence as a woman. It's just the fact that he shouldn't be like worried about where I'm at. So I can easily send a text. It took a long time to get that way, because I would just go with my own flow.
Because when I wouldn't hear from you, I was calling, and majority of the time she would answer. If it was that one, I think it was one time you didn't pick up when I was trying to call because you were gone. I didn't hear from you, and I didn't know what was going on. But I literally was just like, ain't hear nothing from my wife. All right, time to go get the gun. Time to put my bulletproof vest on. Time to go crazy. And then you called and you're like, oh babe, I'm sorry I didn't call. Okay, all right.
Yes.
We're back.
So my advice, and I'll just keep it short and sweet for women, is that I think that you should acknowledge what your goals are for what you're expecting out of your relationship with this person. If you have plans to marry them, if you want to be engaged, and like have some sort of thing set up where there is a plan for whatever the future is, that you have discussed it. Because I think that a lot of times I find that couples go into this living together situation because of multiple reasons, and there's not really like an end game. There's not really any sort of like plan for the future, whether or not okay, so we're living together because we're going to get engaged and we're going to get married and this is going to happen at this time,
right?
Or we're living together we're living together because like we want to be with one another. Neither one of us ever wants to get married or get engaged, but we just really love each other's company, and like, this is what we're doing, and neither one of you guys are expecting anything further than that. So I think, kind of like what you said, it's all about communicating and knowing what you expect. Because I just hate seeing people fall into this whole of, you never talked about anything, you just ended up moving in this person because you're just going with the flow, and then now you're looking at yourself like you, in your heart as a woman, you really want to be married, you've just been waiting for him to like propose, and it's been 5 years now, y'all been living together, and you still looking at when is he going to propose, but you're around the house, cleaning, cooking, doing all these things as if you're some sort of wife. Why would he propose? Like, I literally just had this conversation like, what?
She had to kind of let me be.
Why would he propose?
You're not getting the benefits until you.
Yes, literally. So it's like that doesn't make any sense. But if you have agency over your life, so you can have that conversation. And I just encourage women to be more bold in that.
Right.
Bold in having that conversation. Because I hate seeing people waste time and energy on someone when y'all are on the same page, and like now you've done this thing, or you've now cohabitated with someone for so long that you're just used to it, and getting out of it is hard. And even too, it puts a more constraint on your relationship because now y'all are living together because you're underneath like a contract of a lease and not because like you're actually enjoying it or you're moving towards something. So all I'll say is have a plan, discuss it, know what the future is, and if that's what you two want, then great. If it's not and you'd rather just, shack up and just live with one another, then that's great too. Who cares? Do what you want to do. But at the end of the day, it's whatever works for you. So.
You're so beautiful.
Wow, thank you. Why'd you say that?
I was just looking at you. I was like, you're so fine.
Thanks. Thank you. I guess he likes when I get all, assertive.
Yeah, when she starts getting those crazy eyes and starts getting in her mode, when she starts speaking, I'll be like, damn.
Yeah, well, she's a smart woman. Okay. All right. And with that, so we just want to send a congrats.
Yes, sis. Yes, sis. Yes, sis.
To Greg's older sister and my sister-in-law, Krishana. She got married.
My boy Kev, man.
Such a beautiful wedding. So we got to attend that. That's why we're in Houston. And yeah, we just wish them the best, all the peace, blessings, love in their union. They're such a beautiful couple, and yeah, we just love. So
I know, and
we love weddings.
Just the fact that my sisters have my oldest nephew for her whole life, and my oldest nephew, I was that me and my dad and his other grandfather were those male figures, and my brother-in-law. My oldest sister's husband, we were those male figures in his life that were like pushing him. And if you know my nephew, you knew that was my shadow. Like, this is my boy. Like, he's with me everywhere I went. So just knowing the fact that there's a man in his mom's life that literally loves her, and then also turns around and says, "Son, I love you too." That I actually kind of teared up when he was telling Dalen that he loved him. They know who Dalen is.
You know the name?
They know who he is. He made music. We said it the first episode. No, just the fact that he turned around and just told him that you're my son, I love you. That made me feel so good because I was like, wow, like my boy doesn't have to worry about getting so much advice from uncle anymore. Now he can turn around and says, Dad, let me talk to you real quick. Let me talk to you. So I loved it, every aspect of the wedding, from the colors to the music to just seeing my sister just happy.
Yeah.
I loved every bit of it. I'm wishing y'all the best, prosperous love for forever and ever. And I just hope y'all have fun on your honeymoon, all those things. So just excited for y'all.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. All right, so that is it for us today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in and getting your life together with us.
Yeah.
You can always be sure to find me at Megan.Jeanette.
You can find me on IG at Gregory.K_.
And be sure you're following at Get It Together on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and also YouTube, so you can get more of us throughout the week. And there's so much more to come. All right, y'all. Thanks so much. Bye.
All right, now.